This video is sponsored by PotownStore.com, the best place to get yourself some TCGO code cards. Looking for that last card to complete your online deck or just to get the latest booster packs in town, they literally have everything, and you can use the coupon code ZapDoesTCG for 5% on everything on the website. Also, this video is sponsored by cardmarket.com. Cardmarket is a European platform where you're able to buy as well as sell cards to people all across Europe. You can use the referral name ZapDoesTCG to help support the channel. Also, this video is sponsored by yourplaymat.com. Want to create your own custom playmat? There's only one address. Go check out yourplaymat.com by clicking the link down below. You'll get 10% off your order. They ship worldwide, so start creating your own custom playmat. Last but not least is Dragon Shield. DragonShield.com is of course the affiliated link down below in the description. You're gonna be able to buy sleeves, deck boxes, as well as binders, and Dragon Shield is the best brand to help protect your cards and keep them safe from any scratches whatsoever. They are the best quality sleeves around, so yeah, I'm a big fan, so thanks for sticking around with the commercials. Let's get it going. Sup YouTube, it's ZapDoesTCG here, and welcome back to another TCG video on my channel. On this channel you get daily Pokemon TCG content, so be sure you are subscribed to never miss a single upload. Today we're going to be talking about the top 10 best decks with the Astral Radiance format included. There's a couple of weeks that we had to play, of course, with these new cards, and there's top 10 best decks that have been doing well throughout like the Melbourne regionals, as well as the online tournaments happening at play.limitlesstcg.com. So big shout out to Limitless TCG, of course, for providing the cool images that we're going to be using today. So on the number 10 spot, let's just get this video straight out the way, is Urshifu. And before we talk about Urshifu, be sure, of course, slap the hell out of the like button if you're enjoying the daily content. So we can see that Urshifu is still a deck. Of course, you hit Weakness against Arceus. You also have the Galarian Moltres package in here against Mew VMAX. And now you also have the Zeraora. This Zeraora is super deadly because with a simple Raihan, you can get it off, or an E-switch combo with the Dire Flame Wings Moltres. That means you can surprise Palkia decks with the Zeraora and one-hit KO them instantly, which definitely helps out in the prize mapping. Also, with Urshifu being able to take multiple Pokemon down with, of course, the G-Max Rapid Flow, you still have a solid deck by your side. There's also the capabilities of utilizing quick shooting, scoop up net, quick shooting again, and do some havoc here and there because of the fact that people are playing the Mew from Celebrations with a low amount of hit points. So the deck is still around. The only thing that they actually included in here is the Canceling Cologne, which does help out against Miltank decks, because Miltank can be quite tanky with, of course, the Cape of Toughness. There's also the reason why we're, of course, having that Tool Scrapper to discard the Cape of Toughness altogether. So it's still a deck with the Clara combination. You can get the Baby Moltres back to back. With Palpat, you can get Clara back, which means you can get another Moltres out back to back. So, and with, of course, Clara, you can also get back your Zeraora. If the opponent least expected, Urshifu does have 330 HP. If a Palkia slaps into you, they probably won't be able to one-hit KO you if you just control your bench size a little bit. And then you also have the capabilities of utilizing Cheryl. With the help of the Tower of Waters and, of course, Scoop Up Nets, you're going to be able to, of course, go for a Gale Thrust, and maybe the two-shot KO range is definitely something you want to be taking into consideration, although be careful of the opponents playing Manaphy. So Urshifu sliding in here on the number 10 spot. Also, a little disclaimer, if your favorite deck is not included in this list, this is based on statistics. Be sure to let me know in the comments how you feel about your personal deck and why you think it should be in this top 10. Moving forward, number 9 is going to be Duralduon. Duralduon is a deck that seems to be not going away, and with good reason. You have that Skyscraper ability, making itself immune from damage from Pokemon with special energies attached. I know there's a lot of special energy decks still floating around, for instance the Regigigas decks, which have a little bit of that with Path to the Peak, but nevertheless, this Skyscraper ability is very good, allows you to, of course, wall off specific archetypes, and you also have the consistency with Arceus VSTAR, allowing you to just VSTAR for whatever you want, and then you're going to be able to, of course, set up a Duralduon, maybe use the Single Strike Muster to summon Duralduon VMAX out of nowhere, and of course, this is a very tanky Duralduon VMAX, without having a weakness. It's very good. You have the Averies, which punish Palkia, it punishes Regigigas, and it also also punishes Mew VMAX. I think Avery is a very good card right now. And also this list is running Karen's Conviction, so for every prize card the opponent has taken, we're slapping 20 more damage with our single strike Pokemon during this turn. That means you can one-hit KO with the Duralduon VMAX, which is something that people will not expect. And there's 2 copies in here on top of Pokegear to find it, and there's also tracking shoes, making this deck a little bit faster. Instead of going for big charms, the deck opted to go for Tool Jammers, which also work miracles in this format. So Tool Jammer, pretty strong card. I also expect seeing it in more decks than the Duralduon VMAX, but this is sliding in here on the number 9 spot. Very well deserved Duralduon VMAX. The only thing that it suffers from is that the top decks are now having basic energies by its side, so that's a little bit sad. And also they can easily tech with Path to the Peak. But you do have 4 stadiums, which definitely help out. And Collapse Stadium is a nightmare for decks like Regigigas if they cannot bump the stadium. Moving forward, number 8 is gonna go to the Luminion deck, or whatever you want to call this. It's like I would call this like a Galarian Moltres box, or just Inteleon one prize box to say. So this list is running some lightning package. We have Raikou V and we have Zeraora. The Zeraora is very good. I don't stress on this card that it is bad, because Zeraora is legit. It slaps like enough damage to one-hit KO a Palkia VSTAR, which is awesome. You have Raihan to set it up. You also have Leon to surprise Mew VMAX players when they least expected that a Moltres can attack out of nowhere. The cool thing is that you now have like 4 Keep Calling Subbles on top of 2 Galissifars with Gossifleurs with Colorful Family, allowing you to get your first turn set up. This deck always wants to go second. You also have that Mew from Celebrations, which can sometimes get whatever you want. There's the super effective Glasses, which is going to help out with not only Galarian Moltres, but also helps out with the Zeraora here. And you could also sometimes, if you see a fire deck, utilize the super effective Glasses to Aqua Bullet something like a Victini VMAX. Not that you're going to see that, but it's in there. Super effective Glasses, super nice to see. And what else is something? This is very similar to Urshifu, but instead of playing Urshifu, it's playing the one price shenanigans. So also playing on that Shady Dealings Inteleon to just get anything you want from the deck, any 2 trainer cards. They're the supporters of choice, Research, Cynthia's Ambition, so with of course the Inteleon engine like 4-3-2 with 4 Scoop Up Net, you want to just hang on to a lot of cards in your hand. Luckily a lot of decks in the current format are not playing a high amount of Marnie, which is very good for this deck. You cover Palkia with your Lightning Pokemon, you cover Mew with your Darkness Pokemon, and you're a one prize box. And you could also Yoga Loop in specific turns when it comes in clutch. With Yoga Loop, you can of course attack, and then you can go again, which is very good. But of course, if you Assault Gate into something like a Malamar and they have Oricorio up on board, you can then finish that off with a Yoga Loop, which is super interesting for sure. Okay, let's move on to the number 6 spot. Actually, now that I think about it, it's 10, 9, 8. Yeah, the number 7 spot, excuse me. So here we go. It is Turbo Dialga VSTAR. Recently winning the late night, and people were, of course, playtesting with this a lot. Also, Palkia has adapted this kind of engine. We have 2 Crobat V, 4 Mew from Celebration, Radiant Greninja, and 4 Scoop Up Net. That's going to be the main heart of the engine, on top of 4 tracking shoes to draw to your entire deck. So what you can do is use concealed cards of Radiant Greninja, discarding an energy, draw 2 cards, use Scoop Up Net on Radiant Greninja, slap it down again, and then you can utilize the ability once more. So you use all your Scoop Up Nets on the Greninjas, or maybe even one on the Mew, but more on the Greninja. So you can have so many cards in your hand. You can have the Cross Switchers, you can have the Saucers, you can of course dig through your deck with the tracking shoes. And yeah, this list is running Avery and Marnie to disrupt the opponent. You might even think about adding in something else, but Avery and Marnie do not discard cards from hand. So the only cards that are going to discard cards is like Ultra Ball and the tracking shoes, but you have full control with that. So a unique list. You utilize the Star Chronos attack, 220 damage, and then you skip the opponent's turn as back to your turn. The first attack, the Metal Blast, is also super powerful. Don't underestimate that. It can and will KO VSTAR Pokemon. And the thing you want to be doing here is utilize Mysterious Tail and Radiant Greninja until you find all your Saucers, set up an Origin Form Dialga, attack going on the turn 2. Hopefully that works out, and then out of nowhere, boom! Yeah, you can go again and you just crumble the opponent's board. So very, very cool to see a list like this popping out of nowhere. Number 6 is gonna go to the Miltank Blissey deck. This is a very annoying deck to face off against because the Miracle Body from Miltank prevents it from getting damage from V Pokemon. That means VMAXs, VSTARs all together, they cannot touch Miltank, and if decks do not run an answer, they will definitely lose against Miltank. This deck also runs the Blissey V with the Blissful Blast, slapping 10 damage plus 30 more for every energy attached to Blissey. And after we've put damage on the opponent, we can accelerate 3 energies from our discard pile to Blissey straight from the get-go, with cards like Double Turbo Energy providing 2 energies at the same time, Powerful Card Energy allowing us to slap 20 more damage, and a Lucky Energy. If we get damage, we can of course draw a card. It's going to be a very crazy deck because these DTEs in combination with of course Hyper Potion will make this Blissey V the most crazy tank you've ever seen. Definitely with Cape of Toughness, making Blissey having 300 HP is kind of ridiculous. Sometimes in clutch you can use Share and Scare to just pick up that Blissey once more, just promote something else, and you're good to go. You might think, I'm having a fighting weakness, will I be racked by Urshifus? No, you have Dunsparce in here as well, and there's also Yveltal to discard special energies. The Radiant Greninja is super nice because you want to get the energies in the discard pile in the first place to accelerate them with Blissful Blast. Crushing Hammer, 4 of them on top of 4 Path to the Peak, will slow down any ability reliant deck. That means the Palkia will not able to utilize its ability, Genesect will not able to be utilizing its ability. It's a very strong card altogether, and with switch cards you can sometimes heal on top of having Hyper Potion as well. So strong deck altogether. So number 6 spot here for the Blissey and the Miltank. I'm very curious to see how far this will go if you're playing an upcoming event. Number 5, stuck in the middle, is Ice Rider Calyrex VMAX. On paper, this should be beaten anything, right? You're playing no special energies, you're playing basic energies, you're not weak to Path to the Peak, you're going to be able to one-hit KO all V-Stars with the help of Leon, you're going to be able to KO VMAXs. But it sometimes has its consistency issues, and that's why it's stranded here on the number 5th spot. So you utilize the Inteleon engine to fetch any cards from the deck. Typically you will get Melanie to of course get some hand advantage while getting energies onto your Ice Rider Calyrex VMAX. Ice Rider Calyrex VMAX with of course the max lance is able to cap at 250, with Choice Belt 280, with Radiant Hawlucha you're slapping 310 against VMAX Pokemon. If you're up against the V-Star with a big charm, use the Tool Scrapper that you're able to find with Shady Dealings. There is an Ice Cube in here, and that is for just the Regigigas matchup, I would say, because yeah, they're gonna allow you to, of course, if you attack with it, basic Pokemon can touch it, which is a very funky win condition for sure. There's also the 1-1 Palkia VSTAR in here, going for back-to-back max lances when the opponent says like, you can now boss and Melanie at the same turn, and you say like, I don't even need that, let's just utilize the ability of Palkia, Star Portal, get energies onto our Ice Rider and attack once more. Also opens the door for Star Portal into Leon plays when the opponent least expects it. 2 Choice Belt, Leon and Radiant Hawlucha are the damage buffers, but it also comes back with the 1 quick shooting Inteleon, which you're going to be able to utilize twice on a turn with the help of Scoop Up Net. Palpad gets some of these one-off supporters back, and yeah, this is a great deck all around. The only thing I'm afraid of is like the early shaky turns, because if you cannot find an Ice Rider or a Palkia on turn 1 of the game, you're gonna be falling behind and you don't have a comeback card in here. Starting on the number 5th spot. Moving forward, number 4, the Regis are here, Regigigas Deck, and you do see that they're playing a lot of Regigigas. These Regigigas are powerful because Palkia is one of, if not the best deck in the format. You have access to Regigigas being able to KO any VMAX Pokemon in existence. Regirock takes care of any Arceus that is not running Dunsparce, and Regis can also be a way that the opponent cannot attack if they only have one attacker in the first place. Pretty interesting to utilize against stuff like Blissey, for example. So what else can we see in this list is that Regidraco is going to be allowing you to draw cards until you have 4 in hand with the Dragon's Horde. There's also Registeel. If you're up against a free retreat Pokemon, like for instance a Jolteon, you can one-hit KO that with 220, which is very hilarious for sure. What else is in this list? Hisuian Heavy Bolt to get one of these Regis back. 4 Ordinary Rod, because if they go down, you want to get them back ASAP. 4 Capture Energy, 4 Speed Lightning for Aurora. A little bit different than the Japanese Nationals list, but this is still running, of course, 4 Speed Lightning for extra consistency, so you don't brick too often, because that could be something that the deck struggles against. 4 Stadiums is a must, so you can counter Collapse Stadium, and also you have the 4 Ordinary Rod to get back your Pokemon after an Avery, and with, of course, 4 Capture Energy, you're gonna make it all possible. The thing you want to do, get all these energies in the discard pile. Now with the Ancient Wisdom, if you have all Regis in play, you can accelerate 3 energies from your discard pile to one of your Pokemon any way you like. So one Pokemon gets 3 energies, boom, you can attack with the Tetra Spark from Regieleki, Sometimes you can slap with a Regigigas. You can have all these sorts of attacks, and having such a crazy ability here to accelerate all these energies makes this deck pretty good. You also have Escape Rope, which could help out as an additional way to gust, because most of the time you want to have hand advantage to find more Regis, so Research and Stintails are a must, but sometimes Rope could be your additional way out to just slap some opponents that are waiting on the bench taking cheeky early prize cards. So the best one prize deck in the format right now, Regigigas, trending here on the number 4 spot, well deserved. Then number 3 goes to Arceus builds. If you thought Arceus was dead, think again. Arceus is here with Cheer and Scare and Palpad to make it very hard for stuff like Palkia to one-hit KO it. Be careful of your bench size though. You do have Scoop Up Net to just lower down your bench space once again. Don't overextend on a lot of Pokemon on the bench, or you will get one-hit KO'd. You have Big Charm turning Arceus VSTAR into a 310 HP monster. Stuff like Palkia will have difficulty with, of course, that. And we have Manaphy to protect ourselves from some funky Radiant Greninja plays to get rid of our Sobbles and Drizzles. Don't use Keep Calling instantly and get your entire bench full. Don't overbench against Palkia, that is clear. Against other matchups, it's still good. You have the Dunsparce, making yourself having no weakness at all. You have Cheer and Scare if they cannot one-hit KO. Very good against... if you have Big Charm and the opponent has like Regirock and they don't have Choice Belt, you can survive the hit, use the crazy Cheer and Scare. There's a lot of things possible. You also have Aqua Bullet at your disposal with Raihan. There's 2 Path to the Peak to shut down any abilities from working out, and you also have Capture Energy for additional consistency. Yeah, Arceus is still great. I think this is one of the decks that will never go away because of the fact that Arceus is just so strong. The V-Star ability allows you to get any 2 cards from the deck, and you slap a reasonable amount of damage. That's 180 or 210 with a Choice Belt, or even if you don't rely on DTE, that could be 230, which is very easy because you set yourself up thanks to Trinity Nova. The Ordinary Rod allows you to get back your Dunsparce or Manaphy when they come in clutch, and you also have, of course, the Melanie in here. If you whiff out on the energy turn 1, it's not even a big deal with this list. I've also grouped them together. There's a couple of Arceus variants around. I don't even know which one is better, but there's also the Arceus build relying on Bibarel and the Jolteon with the Thunderous Awakening. These builds shut down any Inteleon, any Radiant Greninja, any Luminion, any Octillery, any Pokemon, any Water-type Pokemon that has an ability is shut down thanks to the memory capsule on Jolteon. The problem I see instantly is that decks like Ice Rider are already including Tool Scrapper, making it so that they can shut off the Thunderous Awakening once again because of Tool Scrapper. Also, Arceus decks probably, if they run Inteleon, boss up the Jolteon before it's able to just make them trapped with, of course, the Thunderous Awakening. But it's clear, you run a Bibarel, you run Arceus, and then a VMAX of your choice. That's how these Arceus builds typically work out. Here we have Malamar VMAX with, of course, 3 Path to the Peak, allowing you to max jam opponents. Something you could also include in here is a Roxanne. Roxanne is very good in these Arceus Malamar VMAX list, but it's simple. You run Memory Capsule, you have Jolteon shutting down any water Pokemon from abilities, and other than that, the straight consistency. Marnie, Research, Bibarel, Crobat, Quick Ball, Ultra Ball, you know the drill. All the stuff you need to start making the Arceus deck work, but without the Inteleon engine. I grouped them together here on the number 3 spot. So number 2 goes to, who will it be? Who will it be? Who will it be? It is Mew VMAX, finally dropping down from the number 1 spot here. Mew VMAX is still insane. Why is it so insane? Well, Meloetta is broken. You can donk anything. So Mew can win against any deck whatsoever. Even if people want to attack against you, sometimes you can just donk opponents with the Melodious Echo. Use Alessa Sparkle onto your Fusion Strike Pokemon. Get energies into play. With Fusion Strike energy, opponents are not able to, of course, affect you with abilities. So Quick Shooting no longer works. Galarian Zigzagoon no longer works. So sometimes if Oricorio is in play, certain decks might have an issue to one-hit KO Mew VMAX, which is insane. You also have the new Silene supporter, allowing you to flip 2 coins. For every heads, you can put a card from the discard pile on top of the deck, which is very cool because you can draw that out with the Fusion Strike system of the Genesect, the most insane draw power we've seen in centuries. And the crazy thing here is that we have, of course, Pokemon Catcher. I do recommend Pokemon Catcher and Mew VMAX because of the Diancies being in the Turbo list. That means you can gust around those. Otherwise, you're a boss trapped and you cannot like boss Pokemon if Diancie is in the active position. You also can utilize like a rope and boss. That is still possible, but The list only plays one rope, so bear with me. The Pokemon Catcher can still win games. Cram-O-Matic is the most broken card in the entire format. If you flip a coin, if it's head, you can get any card that you want. You have to discard an item card from the hand first, but this deck happily loves to do that because they want to thin out their hand in order to draw more cards. With the Genesect, you of course have Mew VMAX with power tablets, with of course being able to copy any Fusion Strike attack. So you're going to be able to Tackle Blast with Choice Belt, with power tablets for huge one-hit KOs. You can gust some stuff up. And this list is not running an Echoing Horn because typically all the top decks are slapping their own bench full of Pokemon. Echoing Horn could be great if stuff like Duralduon ever sees like a huge spike in popularity, but this deck is just running like Rotom Phone, Cram-O-Matic, just some consistency stuff. Rose Tower allows you to draw more cards. There's also 2 DTE, so you don't actually need the first turn attachment if you go first. This deck can pilot if you go first or second, very good. If you go second, you can Meloetta and go crazy. If you go first, attachment on Mew is sufficient, with of course Boss and Pokemon Catcher targeting down the Pokemon that still needs to evolve. Mew will never go away, it's a strong deck, and now there's less focus on Mew VMAX because people are trying to counter other decks, so I think Mew is in a great position right now. Then number 1, it is, oh yeah, here it is, Origin Forme Palkia VSTAR. This is the Turbo list that actually won the Melbourne Regionals. As you can see, you can utilize the Mew from Celebrations, as mentioned, Tracking Shoes, Crobat. The thing we've seen before with the Dialga Turbo list, and said here you actually have ways to utilize the water energies in the discard pile. You can you don't have to look for saucers here. You can just go for Star Portal and attach energies to whatever Pokemon attacker you want. We have a Suicune V, solid basic attacker, a Starmie V, which can come out of nowhere if decks have a ton of energies in play. Think about like an Arceus that is not careful. You could utilize it also on Greninja to go for Moonlight Shuriken to knock out 2 Pokemon simultaneously. The deck also has access to, of course, the 4 copies of the Boss's Order. So typically you try to set up your board with Diancie in the active position so the opponent is prevented from playing Boss's Orders on your bench Pokemon, and then you go for the boss play. Boss, you win the game. That's what it is. Pretty weak against Path to the Peak, I would say, but it does run Pumpkaboo and of course 4 Scoop Up Nuts, so sometimes you can get yourself a free ticket out of Path to the Peak, but if the Pumpkaboo is priced, sometimes it could be a little bit tricky. Hisuian Heavy Ball, make sure that you can get some basic Pokemon from the prize cards. Maybe there's a Diancie prize, maybe your Radiant Greninja is priced, or your Tack Attacker like Starmie V. All possible with Hisuian Heavy Ball. Mew with Mysterious Tail allow you to of course look at the top 6 cards of your deck and find item cards. So with the deck running so many item cards, you're going to be digging through your entire deck very quickly, and that's how strong this deck is. I've also grouped them together a little bit because I do see here that there is some merit of course playing this version as well. This is the Inteleon build. I've put them both in the tier 1 category, even though they play a little bit differently, they are still the same core attacker. It is Origin Forme Palkia, super strong, 60 damage plus 20 more for every bench Pokemon, both yours and your opponent's. You can buff up your damage output with Leon and this specific build. We have Choice Belt as well, so you can come out of nowhere to KO. This list is also running Irida, allowing you to get some puzzle pieces like the Cross Switcher out of nowhere. You can also get yourself Quick Ball, Level Ball, Capacious Bucket. Irida is pretty good because it allows you to get a water Pokemon on top of an item card, and as soon as you get like the Shady Dealings engine going, I'm gonna be able to use Scoop Up Net, get 2 cards with Shady Dealings, scooping up and all that good stuff. Ice Cube here for the Regigigas matchup because otherwise that's a little bit difficult, I would say. Regieleki is good, and this has a comeback potential. You can use Roxanne on top of Path to the Peak to crumble a lot of opponents, or against Regigigas you go for Roxanne, Temple of Sinnoh, and hope they break. So there's a lot of things possible with this. There's only 2 Cross Switcher in here because there's also 2 Boss's Orders in here. You might think I'm cutting 1 Irida, 1 Boss's Orders, and adding in 2 Cross Switchers. It's your personal playstyle, but don't sleep on our Origin Forme Palkia VSTAR. Imagine you have 2 Drizzles up on board. Well, Palkia VSTAR, what I can do, full bench, Quick Shoot, Scoop Up, Quick Shoot again, that's the 40 additional damage, Choice Belt, 70 additional damage, Leon, that's 100 additional damage. You are gonna be able to one-hit KO anything with the Palkia VSTAR, and also runs Spell Pad to get these one-off supporters back. So yeah, Palkia is now the #1 deck in town. Let me know in the comment section how you feel about it. If you enjoyed this top 10 breakthrough, let me know by rocking the hell out of the like button. What will win the next couple of regionals? There's regionals happening in the United States this weekend, and there's also NAIC that people need to prepare for. So will this top 10 shake up a little bit? Who knows? But this is the top 10 list for now. If you guys have any suggestions for future videos, let me know in the comments as well. And a big shout out to our sponsors, PokemonStar.com, the best place to get TCGO code cards. You can use the coupon code ZapdosTCG for a whopping 5% of your order. There's also cardmarket.com for European players. You can buy and sell cards to people all across Europe. And there's also Dragon Shield for your sleeves, binders, and deck boxes. There's an affiliated link in the description below. And last but not least, do you ever want to create your own custom playmat? Well, now you can with, of course, the link down below. 10% off, they ship worldwide. Turn your own logo or beautiful wallpaper into a beautiful playmat. That's how it is, simple as that. Anyhow, have yourself a fantastic rest of your day, and I'll see you guys tomorrow for more Pokemon TCG epicness. Peace!